How's it going, everyone? This is MOS Tricks, and in this video we're going to be talking about my wish list for Bandai Namco to add to Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. We just got that survey that was put out, I think, a couple days ago as at the time of this recording, and I want to talk about some of the things that I would like to see. So first and foremost, I'm going to say that these are just my opinions and the things that I would like to personally see. If these are things that you don't want to see in the game, then that's totally fine. And honestly, I'd like to hear your opinion down below. What is it that you would like to have happen or be brought into Dragon Ball Sparking Zero in the future? Because if you haven't seen the survey, they are actually open to a lot of different things, and it's kind of surprising. One of the main things that I saw that was very shocking, and I thought there was basically zero chance this was going to happen, and that is they are going to at least have an open mind to potentially add a battle pass. Yes, I said the B word, guys. I'm very sorry, but they said they're going to be willing to at least possibly add a battle pass to Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. And this is one of the things that I will say as a content creator that I would actually like to have in the game. So before you leave the video and give it a dislike and say that I'm a horrible person for saying that that's what I want to have, I'm going to tell you right now that as a content creator, there is nothing better than to have a constant, infinite flow of new content. And that is how battle passes basically work. Every single month or every single season, if we have seasons for this game, we have new cosmetics, new skins, new voice lines, possibly different colors for aura or different outfits, and all kinds of things to make the game feel fresh and look new all the time. And now I want to go ahead and explain myself as to why having a battle pass is actually a good thing for literally every single game. And no, it's not because every single company is a bloodthirsty, greedy conglomerate who just wants to try and suck the souls of every player and get as much money as possible, although that might feel like it sometimes. I know $2 is a lot to some people, or $5 it really is, but the real reason why having a battle pass or a constant flow every single month or every single season of new things coming out is it gives content creators who are the promoters, the marketers of these games, a reason to continue feeling excited and putting out a ton of content that brings in more viewers to the game. Because to keep things simple, genuinely, guys, is that if the game gets stale and the game gets boring, everything is going to get pushed in the same direction. Of course, there's the custom battles, which if you don't enjoy that, then you're not going to play them, or there is PvP or ranked, and it gets very stale very quickly. Of course, you have very stale metas as far as, let's say, you have the MUI Gokus or the Gojitas or whatever, and things don't really get shaken up. And yes, we can get new characters and they can have balance patches, but once again, you guys, for whatever reason, you don't want balance patches. You want to play the worst character in the game and be able to beat the best character in the game in ranked for some reason, and that's your own problem, but it is what it is. But as far as keeping the game looking fresh and feeling fresh, if all it takes is a shiny new haircut or a pair of pants or shoes or something, just the smallest little thing, and a content creator feels like, you know what, there's some new stuff in the game and I feel inspired to make a video about this thing. So let's say, for example, we have Krillin in his police outfit as part of a battle pass. It's just an outfit. It does nothing to make him weaker or stronger except for giving him max aura. And because of this, now we have a custom battle where we have, let's say, Krillin pulling somebody over, and that's our story, and they're going to fight to the death because he doesn't want to pay his ticket. And just because of that, yes, of course, it's a very basic example, but because of that, now we have new content from big time creators making a funny joke or playing off of a meme because we have new cosmetics. And these cosmetics, if they're actually in the game, means that players on PS5 and Xbox also have access to them too. It's not just a YouTube video with mods on PC and nobody can really play or experience that storyline themselves. And I will say this, any sort of battle pass should exclusively be skins and recolors. I don't think for a single second, this is where I'm going to be on your side here, I don't think for a single second that maps should be hidden or kept behind a battle pass where you have to pay money to play on certain maps. Because if you happen to play online and someone has a map and you don't, and it crashes the game or it doesn't let you play with them or whatever, then that is horrific. Also, pay to win absolutely should not be in a battle pass. Having the ungodly best character, the 11 DP Super Saiyan 15 Gogeta fused with every other character in the game, something insane, that should not exist ever, and I'm fully on your side. So as far as having a battle pass for strictly, purely cosmetics, I feel like that's fine. Also on the list, Bandai Namco even proposed the idea of adding weapons to the game. So this is where it gets a little bit tricky because of course having weapons as far as a cosmetic, like having a sword on somebody's back, or let's say they have a gun on their hip, or just something random like that. If it looks cool, then sure. But as far as if these weapons are actually usable, For me, I feel like that would be incredible because once again, it's more content, which is more marketing for the game and more people being happy because new videos are doing well and people want to continue to do videos. And of course, I'm sorry that I'm kind of breaking the fourth wall here and always talking about how it's good for content. But I will say that as far as having more weapons, or if we have any weapons at all, because right now we have the Naoe bar, the power pole for Goku, and it kind of changes his moveset. But if we had weapons that were specific for certain characters, like for example, Gohan does not have the Z sword, like Ultimate Gohan or Mystic Gohan, you don't have the Z sword for him. So if you had that as a weapon that you could get, then that's fine. Whether or not it's part of a battle pass or not, that's another whole thing. If it's free, obviously cool, but do we really think that Bandai Namco is going to add weapons and then have all new movesets for characters? If they did that, then that's great. But of course, I'll see in like fucking 2 years because it's going to take forever to program and recreate all the animations for every single character if they did that. I will say that if the weapons didn't really change the character's damage output and it was just like a basic skill or certain move, like let's say your finishers change so that every character could use it and it just gives you a generic finisher like an overhead swing if they happen to have a sword, and until they actually hit their finishing attack, whatever it might be for their square triangle, their finishing attack is the only thing where they pull the sword off their back or off their hip and they do a slash or something like that. It could be a little bit more simple, then sure. And even for me, I'd be totally happy with that because as far as items go, if it actually changes the characters and makes them super strong, or they have disjoints or faster frame data or stuff like that, from a competitive standpoint, players are not really going to like that, and a lot of these weapons are going to go to waste. As far as the custom battles, it's totally fine. And for me, I would love to have more stuff for custom battles so that people feel like there's more of a reason to actually play custom battles and go through the, I will say, grueling exercise that is actually making a custom battle. Because if we happen to get, I don't say this is the next thing on the list, not necessarily something to pay for or cosmetic, but having the custom battles have a search bar would be unbelievable. This is something that a lot of people have been asking for, and they're very annoyed with how difficult it is to actually navigate the menus, and we'll get into that in a second. And I think that that would be very cool. But the other thing that is actually higher on the list for me, and kind of goes back to cosmetics once again, it doesn't have to be something that costs money, but I will say, can we please get a player 1 and a player 2 color palette so if we are in a mirror match with somebody, we can tell who we are? Don't tell me for a single second that when you do 15 vanishes and all this crazy shit in the Gogeta Ditto that you know who you are at all times. Yes, you have the camera on your side sometimes, but it just gets wild. So if we just had, even if it was non-canon, it doesn't have to be canon. If we had, let's say, a recolor where one character has all blue, the other character has all red, or whatever happens to be, just like the opposite colors of the other player, so that we can tell who we are. And to go along with that, one other thing I would love to see as far as customization is having color sliders for our characters, so we can just simply change the colors of at least the outfits. If they're not going to let us change the color of a character's hair to say like a character is, I don't know, Super Saiyan God when they are literally Videl and they can't go Super Saiyan God, then that's fine. But at the very least, let us just change the colors of our outfits. Give us the ability to have an all gold or an all black or an all white outfit because we just want to have some originality and some personality for our characters. The next thing on the list, and I feel like this is an obvious one that's already coming, and that is going to be more stages. Of course, we want Kami's Lookout and Glaciers, and also we don't even have an outer space stage, so I'm not going to spend a ton of time on that, but obviously we would like to have more stages. I feel like a lot of people think that having 12 stages currently is a letdown. I'm sure Bandai knows that, so we're not going to harp on that too much, because I feel like obviously with DLC we're probably going to get stages. They might even be stages that are representative of the DLC as well, so I feel like that's coming very soon. Now, next on the list, this is a huge one, and honestly this could have been even the first one, and that is give us the ability to match with somebody in quick play without going into a lobby. Guys, I don't know if I can say that shit loud enough, because right now it is absolute fucking AIDS when you try and go to quick match because you don't want to play ranked, because you don't want to deal with people rage quitting on you constantly. So instead you try to go into a quick match and have a bit of fun. You just want to have a little bit of fun and not really worry about your rank or anything like that. But the way that it's set up right now is that you go into a quick match and you don't search and you don't fight against Vegeta on a map of your choice. Instead, no, you go into a lobby where somebody accidentally made that lobby and they forgot to give a private slot, or they forgot to make a private slot for their friend, in which case as soon as you randomly join their shit, they just close it on you and you feel horrific. So if they got rid of that and fixed it, that would fix so much. It would fix the entire ranked situation, because a lot of people, they don't really want to play ranked. They just want to play. They want to play the game at all. They really do. They want to play the game and just have fun. And right now it feels like if you don't play ranked, you can't play at all. Unless, of course, you are a content creator or a streamer and you have the ability to set up a Discord and have a ton of friends. Lots of people who love you, kind of like this special ability that's happening right now. The feeling of love could be there for all of us if we had the ability to just go into a quick play match and find another person who's trying to do the exact same thing. Next on the list is something that most people probably haven't even thought about because they don't really care enough for this to be a thing. But please, in the training room, yes, guys, we're going deep into the archives for this one, guys. In the training room, actually give us the ability to set up our enemies or the CPU to do exactly what we want them to do. If we say we want them to do perception, we are not asking for them to fly around and potentially sometimes throw out perception. No. Let them just stand there and do perception, or let them just stand there and try to super counter us frame one perfectly every single time so that we can practice our super counters. Or better yet, let us choose from a couple different options that we could set the CPU to do. So for example, have them throw out 2 melee attacks into block into step sideways. Like, just let us do 3 things like that and we'll be very happy. And honestly, it can stay very simple. It doesn't have to be anything crazy because here's the thing, guys. I'm not asking for anything that is actually impossible to do. I'm not asking for them to revamp the entire system and give us rollback. I'm not asking for crossplay. If we get those things, especially crossplay, that would be unbelievable. But anything that I've asked for so far would be very easy. One of the easiest things that they could ever do. It's a couple sliders, a couple buttons, and just like that, the game would be much more fun for a lot of people. And finally, the last thing on the list, and I thought about this one for a little while here to make it make sense, and that is if we go into ranked and we want to try and fight against someone who is close to our character's DP, set up a system where if we choose a character that, let's say, is 5 DP, we will match with somebody who is between 4 to 6 DP. So instead of having categories to say we want to play with weak characters or god characters, or having a spectrum saying I want to play from characters that are DP 1 to 8 or whatever, we just have the ability to choose +1 or +2 or -1 or -2 DP, and that's who we get paired with. It makes it so much easier because we have the ability to do that with our connection. Why can't we do that with the DP scaling? So if I want to play as a character that is a 8 DP, I could fight against players as high as a 9 or a 10 if I want to make it a looser bracket. Or if I want to tighten it up, I can say if I want to play as an 8 DP character, I only want to fight against 8 DP characters. And the reason why this is a good system is because if we did divisions instead, let's say if you have god characters be their own thing, you're gonna find a lot of players avoid that category because they don't want to play against demons, they don't want to play against the best players in the world, but they do want to grind ranked. So if you want to have it be a little bit more flexible, having a system like this would make way more sense, and everyone would have the ability to play with everyone based on who they're actually playing as. And you can grind from D rank all the way to Z rank as any character you want. And with that, that is going to be my wish list for what I'd like to see in Dragon Ball Sparking Zero in the future. Let me know down below. Do you guys agree? Do you guys disagree? Do you have any of your own ideas? Please let me know what your thoughts are down below in the comments. And once again, this is MOS Trick saying thanks for watching and have a good day.